other situations where they might not fit within the particular boxes on the common application, that we rely on self-reporting, and we would ask, they can volunteer their particular country of origin.
But if they honestly check one of the boxes, which one are they supposed to check?
I do not know the answer to that question.
What? Yeah, you do. You're supposed to say you're a white guy. Or maybe other. But, come on.
And I guess there are studies that show that people tend to check black because you can. Nobody stops you. And it makes it more likely you're going to get in.
Well, yeah, it's a great dodge, and I never had the guts to do this with my kids. Plus, I raised them to be honest, and damn it if they didn't turn out to be honest. Was the very idea of, if they claim to be, I don't know, black or Hispanic or whatever, how are they going to check that? I mean, and then you get fully into the Nazi Ku Klux Klanish, well, what percentage, how much black blood do you have in you? Which the progressives actually want to know, which I find terrible. But, so what are you going to do? Do a blood test on my kids? You're going to hold them down and jab a needle in their arm to make them prove they're black enough or something? Obviously, that's horrible. And so nobody ever does that.
Yeah, I don't know what they do.
Like I say, I never went ahead with that plan,
no,
which I discussed many times.
Yeah, I've always threatened not with schools. I've always thought about like home loans because it makes claim I'm Hispanic or Native American or whatever. You're not going to check, and if you try to check, I'm going to call you a racist.
Well, that's right, because if you claim to be part of a particular tribe for various government benefits, you have to be able to prove that, and then you get into what percentage of blood you have, which again is the stuff of Hitler. But no, for college admissions, it would be considered repugnant to dig into it. Ask Elizabeth Warren about that. She got her gig at Harvard that way.
Right.
Anyway, Clarence Thomas had some questions as well in 71.
So the most concrete possible scenario is stocks trading. And there are studies that find that racially diverse groups of people making trading decisions perform at a higher level, make more efficient trading decisions. And the mechanism there is that it reduces groupthink and people have longer and more sustained disagreement, and that leads to a more efficient outcome.
Well, I guess I don't put much stock in that because I've heard similar arguments in favor of segregation too.
Yeah, that's an interesting argument. We had some clips yesterday that were as good or better. I should ask you to hold those over. Maybe we can grab those. But if what that lawyer said were true, then clearly, undeniably, we need to have affirmative action for conservatives. Because you can get a young black man, black woman, a couple of white folks, an Asian, Hispanic, a couple of Inuits, and Portuguese in a college classroom, and the chances are very, very high that they will all spout the same opinions, or if they don't all hold the same opinions, they'll go ahead and spout them to please the professor, because there is lockstep ideological uniformity on our campuses. So you're talking about groupthink. We're not talking about putting together a Benetton ad where it's important that we have a bunch of different races visually. That guy was talking about groupthink.
Did you hear the thing, Justice Sotomayor confusing two different legal terms? Did you hear that whole thing?
No.
Okay, we'll have to dig that up. Tucker focused on that last night, and I don't agree with him. He says that she is a product of affirmative action and shouldn't be within 1,000 miles of the Supreme Court. I don't know any of that qualification stuff, but it was kind of striking that she confused a couple of legal terms that, we'll play that for you later. You'll have to stay tuned. It's confusing.
And speaking of staying tuned, in roughly 60 seconds, absolutely brilliant observations from one of our alert listeners. We will share with you about this case and what it means. But first, a quick word from our friends at HelloFresh. Judy and I had a late lunch yesterday. She had an evening meeting, and so we had HelloFresh for a nice, big, yummy lunch. Fabulous chicken bulgur dish. That's a kind of grain. It's a flavorful and yummy. And it eliminates the whole, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? What's thawed? I don't know. What do you want? Thing. Because they deliver these fresh, delicious meals, pre-measured and ready for you to whip up as many times a week as you ask them to.
Or perhaps you'd like to have an early dinner with more than 35 weekly recipes to choose from and the ingredients delivered right to your home, as Joe said. HelloFresh helps spice up cooking routines with fewer trips to the store, even saves money. HelloFresh is actually 25% cheaper than grocery shopping.
You know, you're right. I should have invited Gavin Newsom because he really enjoys an early dinner. Sign up today for, listen to this, would you? 65% off plus free shipping. Use the code Armstrong65, hence 65% off. You get it. HelloFresh.com/Armstrong65. That's HelloFresh.com/Armstrong65. You customize the shipment every week for yourself, whatever you and your family likes. HelloFresh.com/Armstrong65. So, frequent correspondent Paolo, who is a heck of a smart guy. We have some of you folks. Not only are you like crazy smart, but you have a lot of time, and we appreciate your contributions very much. I could go through the list, but I think y'all know who you are. But Paolo writes, in 2018, the New York Times wrote the story, Harvard rated Asian American applicants lower on personality traits, suit says. That's what the current SCOTUS case is about. It says, and I quote, Asian Americans scored higher than applicants of any other racial or ethnic group on admissions measures like test scores, grades, and extracurricular activities, according to the analysis commissioned by a group that opposes race-based admissions criteria. But the students' personal ratings significantly dragged down their chances of being admitted, the analysis found. Justice Alito's questioning probed this issue and observed, and I quote Justice Alito from yesterday, I believe it was, I still haven't heard any explanation for the disparity between the personal scores that are given to Asians. They rank below whites. They rank